Good. So, hello, everybody. Thanks for this panel. We talk about messaging platforms. We have here a few experts in this area. Would like to start with you, Ira. Maybe if you give a short introduction about yourself, your position, company, and what you're doing. Short one.
Sure. Short. My name is Ira Cohen. I'm Vice President of Business Development and Marketing at a company called MMD Smart. We began in the wholesale space selling voice and SMS. We moved into the retail space selling directly to enterprises with our MessageWiz platform, which is designed to optimize the results from messaging, and with our Call Center Connect platform, which is a call center in the cloud solution. And we've connected the two so companies can get both the messaging and their voice from the same source. I've been telecom since 1997, so I've been around the block a couple of times.
Okay, that was your dinosaur, you can say, in this industry. So thank you very much, Ira. On my left, I have Alexei from Lang Telecom. Maybe if you would introduce yourself as well shortly.
Yeah, my name is Alexei Jansen. I'm Managing Director of Lang Telecom. My voice career started 23 years ago and then stepped into the messaging. Did a lot in the product side, is more on the anti-fraud side. And about 4 or 5 years ago, started to concentrate more on the retail side as well, and going through the same pains and transformation challenges that a lot of companies are going through from the wholesale space to the retail space. And I would say still going through this transformation. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Then we have Katalin from Enabled. Maybe if you would introduce yourself shortly, please.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Kalin Kalancha. I'm CEO at Enabled. So I'm in telco industry from 2003, so almost 20 years. Enabled was starting 2 years ago as a registered company in the United States. We are building platform. We start with an SMS gateway, and later we refactor it into microservice platform, which enable service providers with CPaaS functionality.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, online from England, I think you said, right? Orlando. Orlando, from far Orlando. Dev from Techalpha Group. If you would introduce yourself shortly, please.
Absolutely. So hi, everyone. My name is Dev Patel. I'm the CIO at Techalpha Group. Company got its start in 2016 as a messaging provider, and then has kind of since evolved with the addition of ReplyCX, which is a no-code conversational chatbot builder for enterprise, small, medium enterprise companies. We've also have expanded into digital marketing for performance marketing side of things, just based on customer demand and need. Yeah, pleasure to be here today.
Thank you, Dev. So let's start our panel regarding the messaging platforms. As an intro, I think our market is still growing, and new players, new companies are coming into the market. And my question to you guys is, what is the motivation that new companies get into our industry, and what are they looking for, and what do they need? So maybe if, Kalin, if you would start as a platform provider, you know, from your point of view, who are the new buyers, let's say, the newbies in the market?
Okay, we saw from the potential clients which are looking for the platform, there are a lot of service providers which are dealing with voice. So they want to move to the SMS business, and then they are looking for a messaging platform. Also, there are some carriers which want to extend their business with new business flows. They want to do more verification of the numbers. They want to extend with 2-way SMS. So I think the needs for the companies are growing, as you mentioned, and the old wholesale business should be extended with new flows and new opportunities for the business.
Okay, thank you. Alexei, you are a very big wholesale voice company. And Kalin just said that a lot of new voice companies are getting into the market. What do they need? What do you think? What you would recommend if a company wants to enter, a voice company wants to enter into our market and want to be a messaging provider? So what is your recommendation?
Well, we started quite a few years ago, and I might recommend to stay concentrated on voice at the moment. But if you really feel like you want to move, yeah, you want to move to the messaging, you need to understand that it's a completely different industry that has it's a completely different game. And I think what helped us to succeed over there is we kept it as a very separate business. And we considered very different approaches within the company as well, not only in sales.
Would you be successful if you do both, the same guy trading with SMS and voice at the same time? You think he would be successful or he will fail? What do you think?
From my personal experience, I'm sure that there are people in the market that are able to do that. But from our experience, I think one of the key factors that helped us to be successful was keeping the teams separate. And only after a few years we started to look for the synergies and probably assigning certain things to certain departments that would have would work both in voice and the SMS.
Okay, thanks.
I have a small remark about the clients of the platform. I think there is as well the wholesale departments of the operators, actually of the mobile operators, that are getting more and more interested in getting the platform. And from this was discussed on the previous panel, but I think there is a serious merge going on in general between the marketing industry and the telecom providers in the form of a platform. And so I've already seen some joint ventures, I would say, right, on the market. And I think the trend will go on. So eventually we'll see the new players from the marketing side that would need a comprehensive platform that they will be able to manage. And I think that's a great opportunity for the platform providers.
So if I can comment on that, since I think that came from me. So yeah, that was actually going to be my comment. We're seeing, if you look at the players who call them some CPaaS today, they usually come from one of two places. They either come from like the CRM side, so they have a database and they have a database analytics part, and then they need the communication solution to connect to it. Or you have the communication channel who wants to move into CPaaS, but they don't have the database and the analytics part of that database. So we're seeing a convergence there. And we're getting we have a lot of partners already from companies like that have the CRM side and want the communication channel, because we're providing sort of the solution for marketing companies. It more or less answers a lot of the things that they're looking for as a communication channel for a marketing platform. So
that's a very interesting point. So you both see that marketing companies are getting more and more into our market. Now, do you think in the future, will they have a competitive advantage because these guys are marketeers and it's used for marketing? Or are we in the telco industry, which are used, to move traffic from A to B, do we have an advantage? What do you think? Is it easier for them or more difficult to them to enter into this market? Maybe Dev, if you have an opinion on that.
I would venture to say it's easier, mainly because they've solved the problem at the workflow level. And what I mean by this is, typical wholesale messaging use case is, okay, here's a bulk, list of numbers, and here's send a message to it. But what they're doing is they're in the message construction side of it, right? So they're actually putting that together. They're looking at it with additional metrics, additional KPIs like campaigns and such. So I'd say it would be easier. However, I think, and this is it's kind of our industry evolution, right? The way you kind of look at email, for example, marketers have their own email platform, but there are a few ESPs or email service providers that are out there. Messaging, I would say, is kind of going in that same journey. There's standardization when it comes to technology. However, pricing is different based on countries. So over time, as we get into other, OTTs and things like this, there's going to be just kind of a messaging requirement that all of these marketing companies may have, or enterprise companies may have, from a capability or visibility standpoint. And that's where I think that they can kind of level up, right? And kind of maybe even pass what we're doing today.
Okay. Ira, what do you think? Is he right? Is he wrong? Who is better? Is it a race or is it a partnership?
It depends what we're selling, frankly. If we're selling OTP bulk messages, then they're not going to have any advantage over we who've been selling OTP bulk messaging for whatever, how many years, right? So we know how to do that. We know how to find 0.0000 margin somewhere and sell that. Is that a good business model for the future? No. We come from the voice market, as you know, the market. And eventually there's no margin left because the margins are being down, and with the pricing volatility that we're seeing in this industry, who knows what's going to happen with margins in the future until that stabilizes. So if we're talking about bulk, yes. But then we have to look at other types of messages that are sent, and we're talking about there's notification messages where, yes, okay, your package will be delivered. Why is FedEx sending that package will be delivered, or Amazon? Because they don't want the truck to have to come back and deliver it again, because that costs money. They want to save the money of the truck going back to the depot and coming back with the package. So that's the KPI. And so there is some value in being able to explain what the value of the message is to achieve your KPI. And with marketing messages, obviously, they want to sell more products. So there's the KPIs there. With those last two use cases, a company that has the sort of relationship within the workflow of the customer, they have the database understanding, they know who the customers are. Yes, they may have an advantage of selling because we don't know how to sell that product. Our people do not know how to sell that product. I come from the marketing side. I can train as many people as possible to think like marketing, but unless you're involved in marketing on a daily basis, you're not thinking like a marketer. And that was a comment that was made in the previous panel as well. So to sell the bulk product, yes, we have an advantage. To sell these other value-based products, unless we re-educate our team, it's very difficult.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Thank you, Ira. So we elaborated together that we have different fields where we see they have a demand of messaging platforms, marketing, mobile operators, voice carriers, and for sure there are more. So I think there are then different needs for the messaging platforms. Are you able to distinguish a little bit what are the different needs? What does the marketeer needs? What does the mobile operator needs? What is the voice carrier looking for? Maybe Alexei, if you can, from your experience, because you have been through that at part of it, maybe explain where you see the differences.
Well, the voice carriers, they definitely see that as an entrance to the new market for them. As Ira mentioned, the things haven't been so brilliant on the voice in the voice business, even though it still exists and there are still margins there. But the industry changed, I would say, right? So the company's been looking to diversify and enter other markets, and messaging definitely has been one of them. And then it's been I would say, a development that you go to the wholesale and then you try to realize where the traffic is generated from the enterprises, and you're trying to get as close to them as possible. But then, of course, you can have a different models, you can have a different approaches. But that's, I think, was the main reason for the voice carriers. From the marketing side, I think there is a huge amount of scenarios, but it's pretty much optimizing the marketing campaigns for the brands, optimizing in every way, the customer experience, the cost efficiency, all possible KPIs.
Okay, thank you very much. Kalin, your input, what do you think?
Well, if we talk about the marketing part, about the enterprises, I think they are looking to use more channels. They want to verify their clients, so they want to know this mobile identity of their clients. Also, they want to use easy services for communication. So I think artificial intelligence integrated in the platform, also flow builders, easy flow builders, also are the needs which are looking, which enterprises are looking. If we talk about carriers, about the classic wholesales, in that case, definitely the platform should have very extended routing capabilities with different scenarios. Also, the billing is very important because, as Ira mentioned, the 001 should be counted, and this should bring value to the service provider. So, yeah, I think these are most important. Also, a new trend now, it's two-way SMS and also P2A SMS. So I think there is also interesting features which service providers are looking for. Yeah, so I think this is what are the needs of the market right now.
Okay, thank you very much. You mentioned AI before, so flows, AI, and I think AI is a really big buzzword right now. Everybody's talking a little bit or a lot about it. So innovations like, let's say, ChatGPT, is this for our industry good? Is it bad? Or does it matter at all? What do you think, Dev, from your point of view? Will it be a booster or not?
Yeah, so I mean, let's apply it in the different segments of our industry, right? So if you're dealing in traffic that's questionable by some of the operators, you're going to want to use ChatGPT, large language models, generative AI in order to differentiate your messaging so you don't get caught in the spam filters. That's probably bad for our industry just because that increases the cost of policing that spam and fraud. As far as what can be done, I feel that now the message construction becomes much easier. And again, looking at the end user at the marketing level, or someone that wants to accomplish a specific outcome from a business standpoint, they're able to input a user and achieve an outcome. And I think that can be hugely assisted with innovations like ChatGPT, generative AI.
Okay, thank you. Ira, you want to say something? I see you have your microphone ready, so
yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So as Dev said, I'm not sure that for a lot of what we do, he mentioned one use case where people are sending questionable traffic. They may want to try some alternate versions of it to try and get it past the firewall, which has existed for some time, actually, because there are word spinners and all these other things that exist in these platforms. We actually, one of the optimization tools that we have in our platform is text optimization, and we use AI-generated alternate text for testing to see which versions of the text will work best for the conversion. So you put in your basic text, and then if you want it, and then you'll say, okay, I want to try some alternative text, and then we'll do A/B testing with the different versions of the text that the AI generated for it. So there are places where it can be used, and I'm sure also—
May I ask you something? So the devil's advocate, why you need AI for A/B testing? I mean, why you use A/B test AI to generate text instead of you have a texter which makes 10 texts? So just to share this with the audience, why you think this is an advantage to have AI for that?
Because we can automate that process rather than doing it manually. So the tool is automatically built in. The client says, yes, I want to try alternate text. And instead of me having to sit someone down to write alternate text, the AI bot does it. And the other place I see where there are usage for it, and this goes back to your comment, is about the two-way conversation. So there, the AI chatbots already exist. Whether or not they're good, I think will take some time yet because there's still a lot of issues with them. But we now can implement AI chatbots both on the messaging side and also on the voice side. About the voice thing, I'd also like to say that I don't know if you ever see young people today, they don't text messages anymore. They tape voice messages. Right now, this is only on the A2A, the P2P side. It's going to move to the A2P side too. And how are we going to be able to generate them voice messages, okay, with our AI voice chatbots that will be sent on SMS platform. Something that we need to consider, because eventually the generated voice messages, or what we call today robo messages, are going to be a part of the messaging industry as well.
If we go back to the question, do you think it's a booster, or does it matter for our industry, or it will be a slowdown for everything, this technology?
I don't think it's a booster or so. That I think that we're negative impact, not negative, but flat impact. I don't see as changing that much. I think that the tools that we can use, which will help us automate, will be great to be able to use them to save manpower. But I don't see it making a huge impact until we get to the AI chatbots and the generated messages. But then I'm concerned that once we automate things that are done manually today, we're going to see a huge blow up of fraud in these spaces, which is going to be a different type of concern.
Do you agree with that, it will not be a booster at all? So it will be just indifferent? Alexei, you think?
I think at the moment, yes. At the moment, this situation, I fully agree. And I think the point is that for certain channels, or for certain services, for translation, for whatever, accent elimination in the call centers, we use a lot of neural networks in the anti-fraud solution, like to detect fraud. I would imagine there are certain that AI can be used in analyzing the data, right? All those things. But I would say it's the products or the services that are presented on the platform. And of course, there is an AI, but for the platform as a service, as a product, I don't see it as a booster at the moment.
And let's say in 6 months?
I think we're speaking about 6 years, probably. And then it all depends on how the whole world will, get into the AI.
You're really brave, making a forecast for 6 years, Alexei. Wow, in our industry, that's really brave.
Yeah.
Really brave.
I'm conservative, yeah.
But that's good. So thanks a lot for this answer. Colin, what do you think?
Yeah, I also think it will not be a booster, at least for the now. Well, I will not do forecast. I did already forecast about RCS, and we see that it's not going on. Yeah, the artificial intelligence ChatGPT, it will be helpful for some parts of the features in the moderation of the content, in the flow builders, but I don't think it will be like take over to the platform, or to be used only for that.
Okay, thanks a lot. Dev, what do you think? Because I think it's a very important question. So let's see the opinion from everybody here in this panel.
Yeah, I think from my side, I think it's going to be a game changer, mainly because, again, looking at it from an impact standpoint at the SME level, right? Looking at that workflow discussion that we just had earlier, ultimately, why does somebody use a messaging platform? Well, they use it because they want to accomplish a task. So what's the job to be done? And if that's assistive AI, I think this is the key. It's not AI where, you're kind of just logging in, touching one button and things are done for you. I think it's more enhancement of the workflow. And as a result, more conversations are going to happen, which is going to increase, I believe, overall traffic for us. But the need of this is going to be pretty apparent, because you see this already in a lot of generative AI, generated text, startups, smaller websites. Marketing as a use case has been kind of shook, right? As a department has been shook as a result of the AI innovation. So I believe that's just coming to us, because we're, us as an industry, us as a platform provider, we're kind of seeing that firsthand, right? All that traffic.
Okay, but so you see a little bit of boost, but not too much.
I would say it's a game changer, in my opinion.
It's a game changer even. So a big boost for our industry. Huh?
Yes. Again, only looking at the segment of the marketing and the business use cases. I believe the 2FA and the OTP, all of those use cases, although there are other channels now that are supporting it, other channels meaning OTT apps that are supporting 2FA, like WhatsApp and others. So there's that there with higher deliverability, higher visibility. So I would say that the messaging side of it or the marketing side of it is going to see a significant increase.
So thank you very much, Dev. What I like is we have 3-1, so we will see in a few years, who will win in 6 years. Well, in 6 years, we are all in pension. I hope so. So Dev, by the way, I think the same like you. I think it's a big game changer and a big boost, but it's just an opinion. When we talk about game changer or boost or whatever, that our industry can grow. What do you think? What are the value propositions? What are the tools, the features, the functions, the channels, what we have to integrate? What are the new ideas so that our industry can grow faster? Maybe Kalin, what do you think?
Okay, so the platform should work with the functionality to do the routing, the billing. This is the core. The new type of services, as I mentioned, the two-way SMS becomes very interesting and attractive. Also, number verification, HLR lookups, MNP integration. This also it's a new trend. Also, the mobile money, I think, or also mobile payments. Let's say when in the message there will be possibility to do the payment directly from the message. So this should be integrated with different payment systems. Yeah, so these are what enterprises are look and also service providers. They of course will need to provide more channels, more integration for the enterprises, so they can diversify their business.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Alexei, what do you think? What will bring growth to our industry? What we have to invent or to provide to grow?
Well, there are several parts. First of all, I think we need to clean the existing channels from, as was discussed many times before, and build up the trust in the traditional ways of messaging back from the enterprises. And of course, there is a lot of creativity, like the mobile payments. I fully agree. Like moving to the fintech, that's one of the possibilities. Merging with the industries, that's another thing. I think the platforms should be more specifically designed for certain industries, and then it will be easier to develop. And I think that's what we discussed before, right? What is who have more advantages than marketing or the platform? But I think this is merging really, and I think the business case should be coming from the enterprise directly to the platform, and then it should be easy to set it up. And that's the key thing, and that's where the platform should be developing, adding new channels and making it easy to set up the platform for the exact needs of an industry.
So you think adding more channels like WhatsApp, Telegram, and so on, whatever will come in the future, you think this will help our industry to grow, or is it just a needed asset?
No, it will help the industry grow, but it should be specifically used for a certain business cases, right? From a certain industry that are using the platform, because a lot of the requests they won't require all the possible channels, right? So you need to be able to set up the optimal channels working the optimal way for a certain business case. And I think the easier it is to, or the more flexible the platform is to serve this business case, the better it is, and this will help to actually boost the whole industry.
I have a question to you experts. Is then the market out there, not our industry, but our customers, are they ready for all those channels, this wave of new channels, which are, like a tsunami coming towards them? Or are we just, let's say, dreaming or hoping for a new landscape of 1 million of messages messengers where we can bring our business in? Or is it just too much right now for the market is out there?
The question on you?
Yeah.
The problem is not that they're waiting for it. They're not waiting for us. They're not waiting for this. They have no idea that it exists. They also don't need us. They have alternate ways of communicating with their customers that they think are successful. So I don't think that anybody is waiting for us or, waiting with bated breath to see when RCS comes to the market. That's probably our problem. If we're looking at future growth, to go back to your previous question, yeah, we mentioned growth and nobody said RCS, which is, that's the growth path for the SMS industry. And I think that we've all gotten a little tired. I'm actually moderating the panel tomorrow about RCS. And my opening question is RCS dead? That's what I want to be. That's the opening question. So,
Is it?
no, but
Some life support.
are we waiting for? If most companies don't care. If Nick Lane has some great when they do their surveys, they ask customers, have you validated your account on using SMS? And they have no idea that it's SMS. They have no idea that DHL is a brand. Have you communicated with a brand via SMS? People don't know. It's something that comes into their phone. It's the way investors get it. They don't know what the technology is. I don't think that enterprises really care about the technology as long as it's effective to communicate with their customers. Two-way messaging, one-way message, doesn't make a difference. As long as it's effective and it gets good results, that's what they care about. As long as email was good and they were getting decent results from email, they were very happy with email. And unfortunately, for the last 20, they still have, many of them are still very happy with email, even though zero open rate. So we have to, the only way to come is with a value that says to them here, this is a better channel than you previous using. For you, SMS is better. For you, WhatsApp is better. For you, RCS is better. For you, you're in China, WeChat is better. That's a better channel for you. And for you, voice is better because you need to, that's the way to sell it. And that's the client wants to hear. He doesn't care about this technologically mumbo jumbo and the battles between the OTTs and the native messaging application. Nobody cares about that.
So at the end, in a summary, if they don't care because they don't want to hear, so they're not ready. It's just too much for them at the moment right now. Is it overwhelming to have this wave of new channels instead of just putting all the budget into TikTok and Instagram? If I talk about the marketing guys, for instance.
Have you ever gone to a marketing agency and tried to sell SMS to them? There'll be a bunch of 25, 30 years old who just got out of university. SMS is their grandfather's technology, and they'll tell you that's my grandfather's technology. Who sends an SMS today? They don't know that they're sending SMS or getting SMS. They know TikTok and Instagram, and that's the channels that they're familiar with and that they want to use for their clients. So how do you sell to them? It's always going to be, if you're trying to sell something that the customer doesn't understand, you have to find the value to explain to them the value, not what you're selling, but how you can help them. That's always the challenge.
So we are on a mission. We are on a mission.
I'm always on a mission.
We're on a mission. Dev, what do you think?
Yeah, I look at it, I think, from a standpoint of how topical are we or how niche down are we getting from a platform standpoint? So if a platform is meant for simply connectivity, right, you need all these metrics in order to see the visibility of how the message is being delivered, if you're connected, all of these things. From a marketing standpoint, there's just so much more data that's required, right? Because from a marketing platform, marketing messaging platform, you need all of these channels. You need Instagram, you need the ability to kind of understand how the campaign performed on one channel versus the other. You need to kind of build out the end-to-end customer journey to help the marketer understand what the touch points were. So I would say, I think, from a standpoint of what do we need and what will we kind of, what's required of messaging platforms, I think it's very specific to the industry or the solution that you're trying to solve.
In this audience, we have people which sell SMS, sell other kind of messaging channels, and I would like, to find an answer for them. Are they wasting their time if they chase WhatsApp channel, Instagram, or whatever channel they have? They offer chat capabilities, or is it an investment? Can they really grow? Is the market ready? Should we now tell to everybody in here, hey, forget SMS or do it, but don't forget the other channels? what would you recommend?
I would say that if you don't, I don't think they would be wasting their time. If they'd be wasting their time if they don't try it. They need to understand, again, this is more from a, the metrics that we're able to provide to our customers, right? Based on engagement across channels. We have web chat, we offer Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, SMS. So all of these channels combined, what's the best way to nudge the customer along to a specific journey, right? And that might require channel switching. It might be an SMS message that comes in with a link or a web chat, and now they're able to have an interactive sessions. From a network standpoint, we may be limited in that specific country to not have a two-way conversation. So how do you account? So these are things that we need kind of additional context from the customer standpoint, but these are things that are not just possible, that's what's happening today. It's about whether you're able to kind of help your customer achieve that goal or not.
Okay. So, but again, I'm insisting, should these people here go out and try to sell something and at the end don't earn money, or they earn money? Should they chase the buzzwords or should they chase the money? Would you recommend them to put, let's say, 50% of the sales power, try to sell it, and then to tell them that they can earn money, or will they invest or burn money? Kalin, what do you think?
I think we should recommend that people still keep business on SMS. So SMS will be anytime the main channel, I think, because other OTT channels for them should be used applications on the smartphones, and different users will be users of different applications, but SMS will be for all of them. So SMS will cover scenarios where application will not cover it. So I think SMS still will be the business.
Thank you, Kalin. Alexei, what do you think? The salespeople out there,
Well,
what they should sell to keep their targets to bring the money home?
It all depends on what they are targeting. We always have to keep in mind that every channel on the market that we are aware of is on the market because it solves certain pain. And if your target group or the enterprises you're trying to reach, or whatever the customers you're trying to reach would share this pain, then this channel is good for them. It so much depends on the business case. As a platform, it should provide the flexibility, right, of using all the possible channels, but they shouldn't be offered all together. Is right, like the SMS is definitely one of the main, most common, one of the most reliable. Maybe now it's going through some challenges, but I mean, it's still a basic way of messaging that is acceptable and understandable by all the customers. But at the same time, there are channels that are specifically better for a certain group of enterprises or group of customers. So every case is different. You have to analyze and you have to decide.
So grandfather technology, as you call it, is not that bad nowadays still. Many people ask me, what's going on with WhatsApp? Is WhatsApp a threat or not? So if WhatsApp is entering, or they're trying to get into our market, do our colleagues here have to worry about that, or we can have an easy life and they will never cope with us, because we are so much smarter or better? What do you think, Ira?
There are problems with WhatsApp. There's also a problem for us as service providers that we make very, very little money by selling WhatsApp. So yes, to go back to the previous question, we'll always want to sell SMS because we make money on SMS. We make very little money, if anything, from the other channels. So Facebook is making money. We're not. We're reselling it for Facebook so that Facebook can have more money in their bank account, but we don't make that much money from it. So yes, we'll always try to sell the SMS because there's money in it. For now, there's money in it. WhatsApp, but if I come to a customer and the customer says, hey, I need to send OTP to a specific country, and the price sending RCS OTP is cheaper than selling SMS, I would not be a good salesperson if I went and sold them SMS anyway. And in some countries, it's cheaper to send a WhatsApp OTP message than it is to send an SMS message in countries where there's WhatsApp everywhere. So why would I sell him something that I know he's going to get a better product if I sell him something else, even though I make more money? So that's where we face today a challenge. I don't think WhatsApp is going away. I think WhatsApp just with the changes to the WhatsApp templates that went into effect beginning of this month were really, really smart. They did exactly what I would have done if I was running their company. They made it very clear that this is an OTP message, this is a service message, and this is a marketing messages with different pricing across the board. And what they basically are saying is that we're fighting a war with SMS OTP. We want to take the OTP traffic from SMS. That's basically, that was the declaration of war. And unfortunately, because SMS, the leadership of the SMS industry is much more fragmented than the leadership of the WhatsApp industry is, they probably will win because they'll be very, very targeted on winning that battle. And we don't have a cohesive strategy to face them. In fact, all of us in the SMS business are selling WhatsApp for them, right? So, we're all traders to the SMS cause, so to speak. So I don't think that WhatsApp is not going away. There are problems there. The process of getting a WhatsApp template and vetting companies sometimes can be ridiculous, and sometimes there's no explanation at all why this is approved or this isn't approved. Similar to the way, by the way, with SMS registration, but in WhatsApp, there's one place to go, and they say no, it's no. So I don't think it's going away, and I think that we don't have to be afraid of it. We have to embrace the challenge, and we have to figure out ways to make money from it.
So answer with a yes or a no. So WhatsApp is a threat for our industry.
Not a threat.
It's not. Okay. Dev, what do you think? Is WhatsApp a threat for our industry, to the colleagues here which are selling day and night SMS?
Let me clarify my answer. Sorry, I'll give it to you a second.
That's fine.
It's a threat if we look at what it could possibly do to the future of RCS. Then it's a threat.
I'm not talking about RCS. I'm just really talking very generally speaking. Here are a lot of aggregators. They make money, they pay the salaries, they pay the mortgage based on selling SMS. And they want to know, is WhatsApp, taking some parts of the cake away? And are they losing market share because of WhatsApp? Do they have to be worried? Yes or no? Is it a threat or is it not? Because you said it's some things very smart, some things it's very complicated, right, to do so. But at the end, if we just see here the colleagues in this trade show here, do they have to be worried or they can keep calm? What you would say if you would be a trader here? Maybe Dev, you can start.
So I'm in Florida, and I don't mean to be controversial, right, on this topic, but I'll say that, look, WhatsApp is the natural progression of the messaging industry, and we all have to understand that we're in the messaging industry, not just the SMS industry. And I think that's kind of where the differentiation for me comes in, where to somebody that's not going to evolve in their ability, their approach, and how they look at a messaging channel as being kind of an additional multiplier, right, on their traffic, it's evolve or die. And I think Ira said it earlier. RCS is a dead. Well, I would say right now it's evolve or get out life support. So I would say invite those channels, find ways to make additional revenues, service your customers for their use cases they require, help them understand the differences, and take part in the industry.
Alexei, I think you are a very big aggregator, very big voice carrier. Is for you, do you have sleepless nights because WhatsApp is now getting into our market? What you would recommend to your colleagues?
I personally don't, but on the telco side, being it's a big threat, I think. On the platform side, it's one of the channels. You have to find the right way to monetize. So it depends on which part of the business you're looking at. We combine both. So yes, for us, it's a threat on the telco side. We make less margin, and the traffic is floating away to those channels. But I think it's inevitable process. That's how much we can do. It's just we need to concentrate on how do we monetize it on the platform part.
Okay, thank you very much. Colin, what do you think?
I think WhatsApp, it's not a threat, it's an opportunity, but I'm speaking from the point of view of platform sellers. But also for the people in the industry, SMS is still growing. There are still some markets where it's not very good coverage of internet, and people, when use their phones, they have more access on the SMS rather than applications. So I think at the moment it's not a threat, it's an opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much.
Let me just maybe add something. One of the things that we've seen is that clients who were relying on communication with the customers via their apps are coming to us now and asking to bring them into WhatsApp because the apps are not being effective as a communication channel. And we were really surprised by some of the use cases. The most important app on my phone is my banking app, but the banks claim that when they communicate with the customers via the banking app, nobody sees the messages. WhatsApp, SMS, they see. So for us, that's been, and I agree totally with what Dev said about, we're not in the SMS business, we're in the enterprise communications business. We're in the way of helping enterprises communicate with their customers, whichever way is the best way for that enterprise to do it. An enterprise will say, hey, we want to communicate on the channels where our customers are, which you'll hear very often. We want to communicate where the customer journey is taking them. We want to be there. And we have to be able to use all of the channels that we have to be able to bring that. And apps are not the way. The downloads of apps every year are going down. And businesses are beginning to realize that the way to do it is on a more personal channel. And that's where the messaging channels come in.
Thank you. Let me come to the last question for this panel. And it's about the new channels which are coming. More and more, those channels, they are for free. Let's say Telegram, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, Google Business Chat, a lot of channels there for free. And I think in the future, there will be more free channels than channels where we can do money. And if we take WhatsApp, they charge something, but do we really have the chance to resell it if the price list is public? I don't think so. So how we monetize the new channels from free channels like Telegram or even channels like WhatsApp, where Meta is charging something, but where maybe our share will not be so nice or so big to get something. What is our future? What is telecom, the destiny of telecom? Will we be a techcom, or we will remain telecom and earn money on the transaction? How we make money in the future?
We provide access. So we sell the access. We don't have to necessarily monetize. If you look at it from the bulk messaging perspective, yeah, I want to make message per message that's sent. But we don't have, that doesn't have to be the commercial model. The commercial model could be, we're allowing you access to the platform where you can communicate to your customers. So that access we can charge for.
Okay.
And then we can charge based on how many channels are available. Okay. So you have 20 channels. And let me maybe add one thing that we haven't talked about and which people aren't yet talking about. We don't talk about the metaverse and what that's going to do to the messaging industry, but 6 years time, let's say, we're going to be communicating with avatars, and businesses are going to have an avatar, and we're going to see the avatar talking to us about our bank or whatever.
Yeah, but I prefer to stay on the reality, not the metaverse. I would like to know that the audience, how they can make money. You know, let's not fantasize how they can make money.
I want to figure out how to make money from metaverse. That's what I'm trying to think.
No, that's really what they are concerning. What you said, selling access, so charging for the access to the different channels. Maybe Dev, you have another idea how our colleagues here can monetize even those free channels or channels which will be charged directly, like WhatsApp.
Yeah, so I think the model, right, and we need to zoom out a little bit, right? Looking at it, if we're in the network connectivity business, we're in the messaging space, right? So let's put these terms kind of as our identity, so to speak. Well, SMS to me is a network of networks, right? There's all these mobile operators and they have the ability to kind of send messages into it. Well, I would look at WhatsApp as a network, Facebook Messenger as a network. These are all walled gardens that you have access to. And if from a platform standpoint, you're allowing them, to Ira's point, access into those networks. The value there is the orchestration of those networks and how you help that enterprise customer achieve the goal by utilizing these channels, these other networks that we have access to. So I think that the way we look at it is how we price on Apply CX is at the conversational level. Doesn't matter for us from a standpoint of which channel you're conversing on with your end customer. It's based on the conversation that's taking place, and that's what we're metering. Now, of course, down the road, what we see is kind of it going to the level of, what's your cost of engagement at the user level, and that becomes kind of a monthly MRR metric, something like this. But that's kind of some ways that we're looking at what's the acceptability from a customer standpoint in terms of pricing models. Also, these are things, if they're generally freely available, then are we helping them on the workflow and other things to really help them facilitate, which is where we're driving the bucket.
So we have charging access, charging conversation, and maybe the flow,
Orchestration,
which means consultancy, so that's actually not so much our industry because we are not consultants normally, we move traffic, but this is a way maybe we have to switch, right? That's what you are saying, Dev. Kalin, what do you think? How we can earn money? How your colleagues here can earn money?
I think I agree with Dev. It should be paid per services which will be provided to the enterprise for the orchestration, for flow builders, maybe some packages with explanation how they can use in the best way for communication with their clients, with their end users.
Okay, and as the last but not least answer for this panel, Alexei, what do you recommend to all your colleagues here?
I fully agree. It should be charged by it's all the access, the orchestration, whatever added services you can add, compliance with the regulation, which is a super important part of the platform actually. And this is something that probably with our experience we can provide better to a lot of enterprises. At least there is the data analytics that is there, and even though I think the trend is that the brands want more happening on their side, there definitely certain value that can be added on the platform to those things. So yeah, those things.
Let me throw out a different model that we didn't talk about. That's a performance-based model. A lot of marketing, the models in the marketing world, if you click on something on the internet and you end up buying that product on the internet, there's a whole chain of people who make money with the fact that you ended up buying that product or you even clicked on that product. We basically are providing that same sort of functionality. We're providing a link for someone to click on and eventually maybe buy the product. We actually try to put in that sort of model. We still have the model with some customers in which we take a rev share, or we take some share of the performance that they get from having from the value of the channel. It's a very difficult model to work on because it's very difficult to automate. There's a lot of money in it. We make a lot more money from those customers than we would if we were selling them an SMS message. But you also have to find customers who are not risk averse because they don't know in the end, they don't know what their budget is until they get to the end of it. So that's a model that we should be considering. We don't consider it a lot because we're looking only at the bulk model, but that's a model that we should be considering.
So if I hear all of you, what I can summarize is that it will not be easier, will not be simpler. I think the future will be more complex from performance marketing. I'm wondering how you monetize then weather push messages, because there is no performance at all.
Explain it.
Up to conversation, up to access. So it will not be easy. So might be we will have all problems solved in 6 years. Alexei, we will see. Are there any questions in the audience? What you would like to ask the panelists here?
They're stunned.
Fabrizio, I'll just say AI to the rescue, right? All of these challenges that you just faced, we'll just put them in a nice ChatGPT prompt model and we'll have a solution soon. Definitely before 6 years.
Okay, good. So there are no questions from the audience. Then thank you very much, the audience, to the panelists for your very interesting answers and for participating in this panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.